I on? Hey, how about this guy, huh? Putting this whole thing together? What a cool thing. Andy. Very cool. I'm thrilled to be here, and oh shoot, I've already screwed it up. There we go. Those are my guys. So I got to create all these characters on Family Guy. That's Cleveland. Y'all know him? He's a pretty chilled out dude. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be right back in my hometown telling y'all my story. Cleveland's pretty chilled. If you were outside his bedroom when he was in there with his wife, you'd hear something like this. Nice, 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 nice. And boom goes the dynamite. And then there's America's favorite pedophile, Herbert. Hey, Muscleon, why the long face? You like popsicles? Why don't you come on down to the cellar? I got a whole freezer full of popsicles. Don't worry, he's never going to catch a kid. He's a modern-day coyote. And then there's Bruce. And if y'all ever go into a little shop around Richmond, you've probably seen this guy 100 times. He's very particular about things. Maybe he'll be teaching a CPR class, put out some treats. Afterwards, he might say, oh no, nobody drank any of the coffee. Only a few of the Oreos gone. I guess I'll take the rest home to the cats. And then there's Consuela, who is the cleaning lady who does things her own way. She'll say, we need more lemon pledge. Could you just pick some up for me on the way back next time? No, you buy. Okay, I'm happy to give you the money. You can... No. Get it out there a little bit. But they're all based on real people. Actually, Cleveland, I was playing basketball at the Thompson Street Park, and this dude was playing, and he's like, yeah, you got that guy in the yellow, he got no left hand. You know, you force him to the right, you know, he ain't gonna make it. And so I just started saying this voice in the Family Guy room, and I'll get to that. And Herbert was a sweet old man that worked at U-Crops with me out in high school. He was actually just a sweet, nice old church-going guy, but I would imitate him saying horrible things like, hey lady, can I help you out? Maybe I can squeeze those melons by your car. And then again, one pedophile joke in the Family Guy writer's room, and there we go. So anyway, I got to do these voices, and it sounds cliche, but I got to do them by listening to my own voice. I took a leap of faith at age 24, and I didn't know where I was going. I just knew that I wanted to be funny for a living. There was no Family Guy, and I just had this passion to make people laugh. So hopefully I'll inspire somebody else to do something they want to do here that they don't see a way of doing. But when I was 24, everybody wants to fit in and be cool, and that's what I had done my whole life. In high school, I went to Collegiate, and then I went to Washington and Lee, and then I got my dream job at the Martin Agency doing ad work, and I loved everything about advertising except for advertising. I did not care about helping the phone company out in Phoenix come up with their market niche to increase their share of the pie in the business sector. I just want to make people laugh. So after a year of heavy drinking and faking my way through this job, one day we were getting ready for a presentation, and the artists were drawing up this magazine ad. It was like a double-page ad, and on the one side it said, your company's phone system without our product. And it was a handsaw, a picture of a handsaw. On the other side of the page it was, your company's phone system with our product, and it was a chainsaw. I'm like, wow, that must be a great product. Same thing with a rowboat and a motorboat and a screwdriver and a power drill. So I said, hey, draw this up for me, will you? So I had them draw your phone company's, your system without our product, and I had them draw a cupped hand like this. And then on the other side of the page, I had them draw like a spread eagle, naked lady, just ready to go. And the laughs that I got from people and the snickers were enough to inspire me to just go for it. So after seeing David Lynch's Wild at Heart, if any of you are familiar with this movie, literally I was at this juncture where I'm like, I gotta go do this, I gotta go be funny, but how am I gonna do that? My family's in town, all my friends are in town, I don't have any experience. But I saw this movie and it was hilarious, it was sexy, it was weird, It was visceral, and I decided if this guy can go and do this for a living and do all this weird stuff, then so can I. I'm going to just go be myself. So got in my sporty Jetta and drove it to California, and as soon as I hit town, I realized I was one of literally millions of people trying to do the same thing, and I had no experience. So the voice inside my head was just like, well, you did it. What are you going to do now? And so I took classes in stand-up, screenwriting, did improvisational comedy, did some production work, and started to find my way, and it was not easy. I went from big cheese here to working at the Gap over the course of a month, and I was renting a room. I had a roommate, and it was just a random situation, but I just had this drive, and I had to do it. So I had little pieces of success here and there, a good set of 5-minute stand-up at a coffee house in front of 20 people, 19 of whom were waiting to get up and do their set. It sucked. I mean, it was terrible, and but it was. I had to keep doing it. So I eventually realized I needed to shoot stuff. I needed a reel. So I moved back to Richmond. I put all my stuff in storage out there because I knew I wasn't done. And I came back, and all these guys that I'd worked with before were just kind of like, "Hey, big shot. How's Hollywood going?" And I was like, "You know what? I'm not done." And so I started filming stuff, and I hooked up with my brother, Patrick, who's also, a funny guy, and we started shooting these little film shorts, and here's basically my take on advertising.
We've hit the streets of America to demonstrate the effectiveness of new Dristex BM nasal decongestant.
Sure.
On a clear sinus day, Fred Johnson has no trouble identifying the scent of his faithful companion. But today, he can't smell a thing.
I can't smell a thing.
Now he's trying new Dristex BM. Dristex works as it penetrates to leave you breathing comfortably in seconds.
Ah, it's Max's stool.
New Dristex BM, because you never want to miss what's right under your nose.
So people thought I was insane. I'm like almost 30 years old, and I'm doing this. We actually shot that over on Main Street. My brother, my friend Bunt Young, who's a cinematographer in town, and Beth Copping, the actress there. We just went out and did it one afternoon, and I called favors, and we edited it and did all that. And at this point, my friends are getting married, having kids, buying houses, and I've got a futon in my living room, and I'm making dog crap jokes for a living, or not a living. So did that for a couple years, and at the same time, my brother was in film school up at RISD in Rhode Island, and I went up and acted in his films and had fun and got good response. And I took this and a few other things we shot and moved to New York. And instantly I got an agent. Sweet. And got up to New York, started auditioning, started doing improv theaters, a little bit of stand-up, and was just going for it up there, living on credit cards, no money coming in. Cut to 14 months later, I have not booked a single thing. It's March, it's raining sideways, it's freezing. The voice inside my head is shrugging at me, and I had one more audition. If I could just nail this is it. This is going to be my turning point. So I drag myself out of bed, walk through the rain to the subway, go down to Soho, walk again in the rain, get down there. This is going to be my spot. This is going to be my spot. I get in there, and they want me to do a crazy voice with a pickle on a plate. And I was just like, I did it, and I just walked out of there, and I just walked miles in the rain, just pouring rain. I was just yelling at the sky. What is it going to take? I'm doing everything I know to do. I don't want to do anything else. Rock bottom. And then literally the next day, I booked a commercial for Foot Locker. It was actually one that I got to be funny in, and it aired nationally. The next week, I booked another one for Heineken. Cool. A couple weeks later, Lorne Michaels people called. They'd seen some of my stuff. One of my brother and I to come in and shoot some stuff for them, which we started doing. Then this guy who I'd met at RISD with my brother, Seth MacFarlane, called and said he had sold a show called Family Guy and wanted to see if I wanted to come out and write some of my gags for it and create characters. I was like, well, I don't know. And he's like, well, you'll make this much. I was like, oh, yeah, I can do that. So I moved to LA. Boom, there's Family Guy. It pays well. I'm out of debt instantly. My characters are being well received. Awesome. Wasn't even hearing the voice. I was living the voice. So I'd kind of made it. So life's good until all of a sudden Family Guy's canceled. No ratings, politics, blah, blah, blah. What do we do? What do I do? I could go write for some crappy sitcom. I could, take some other kind of job. I got a tiny bit of money left, so I'm just going to do what I think is funny. So I'm going to cue this video here. So my brother and I had our fill of hidden camera shows, and we decided to go ahead and shoot that.
You've been kicked in the nuts.
That hurt. That hurt. Sensitive and balls. I really hate that.
How's it feel?
Call the police.
No, don't call the police. My friend, you've been kicked in the nuts.
No. You guys are hilarious.
Thanks.
Oh my God. I really love this show. We're original.
Got a kid. Hey. They're gonna be kicked in the nuts. They're gonna be kicked in the nuts. They're gonna be on TV. I'm kicked in the nuts. Hey. You guys are gonna be on TV. Smile. Smile. You're on TV.
So, don't worry, they weren't real. Those were actually 3 executive producers of Family Guy and their kids. So again, I just wanted to be funny, and I didn't care. And Family Guy was done. This actually aired on channel101.com, which is a cool website, and it literally blew up the site, and it got like 2 million views in the first week or something. It was crazy. And so I knew I was doing more funny stuff, and finally, Family Guy came back with a blessing, and 2 full seasons were ordered up, financial security. We started doing live events. We were treated kind of like these cult rock stars at these events, and it was unbelievable, and I believe it was all from just sticking to what I thought was funny and not wavering from that. And so now the voice inside me is telling me I got to do something else, so I'm like, all right, so look for a movie sometime. But it's very cool to be here. I hope that people can really just think about what it is that gets you off, because making you guys laugh gets me off, and thanks a lot for having me. Cool.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-oh.
so I don't forget Mike and I's first meeting. We met at Can with
Yeah.
your brother, and we're sitting across the table, and he's like, and someone says, and he's going to do the kick in the nuts video. And I go, I don't quite get it. I don't understand what that quite means. And then they describe it to me, and Mike says, I'm going to kick you in the nuts on the stage. And I
Yeah,
was
we were spitballing, coming up with ideas.
and the way he delivered it, as you have gotten to know him, I was like, really? Really? You
Yeah.
can't do that on the stage. He's like, no, really, I'm going to kick you in the nuts.
It's astounding how many people think that's real. Like on chat room, if that guy did that to me, I'll kill him. Like, all right. So,
Everybody, a local, a friend, Mike Henry.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.